After 2 months of moving our lives from the United States back to the Philippines, I finally found the stillness to sit with my thoughts. For the first time, there was no rushing, no packing, no deadlines, no decisions waiting to be made, just space. And in that space, everything I had been holding in slowly came to the surface. This move wasn't just about geography. It wasn't just about leaving one country and returning to another. It was about decision, a big one, a life altering one. It was about change, adjustment, and eventually acceptance. My husband, then my fiancé, brought me to the US when I was 23 years old. I remember how amazed I was. Life felt so different. Everything moved fast. People were always busy. There was hustle everywhere. The systems were organized, rules were clear, authority felt firm and unquestioned. Coming from where I grew up, it was overwhelming, but also exciting. I experienced culture shock in ways I didn't even have words for back then. I was fascinated by teenagers driving their own cars, having jobs, and being independent so early. I couldn't help but compare it to my own experience. I remember being 18, standing at a job fair, hoping to be hired as a sales cashier, only to be turned away because I didn't have a college degree. My height was even measured. I didn't meet the requirement. I don't know if they still do that now, but at that time, that was just how things were. Another thing that really stood out to me was how people in the US called elders or anyone older than them by their names. I found it strange at first because where I come from, respect lives in language. We say manoy, manang, ate, kuya, ma'am, sir, tito, tita. You don't even need to be related. Those titles are given out of respect, not blood. Living in the US slowly shaped me. It taught me independence, confidence, how to survive on my own. But it also taught me how to adjust, sometimes painfully, to a life far from home. There were moments when I almost went back. Moments of loneliness, moments when everything felt too heavy, moments when I questioned if I really belonged there. But like many Filipinas, I stayed. I adapted. I embraced the life. I built something. And as the eldest sister, I carried more than just my own journey. I was molded differently. I wasn't just a daughter, I became the second parent. Not because anyone officially said it, not because I was appointed, but because responsibility arrived quietly through expectation, sacrifice, and guilt. Yes, guilt. The guilt of having a better life while my siblings were struggling. The guilt of leaving. The guilt of choosing opportunities that weren't available to everyone back home. I know every ate understands this feeling. Or maybe every breadwinner does. You love deeply, but the love often feels like obligation. You grow strong too early, you learn to give before you learn how to rest, and even as life improves, the guilt doesn't automatically disappear. Maturing and adulting taught me lessons no one prepared me for. I learned through mistakes, through choices that felt right at the time, through lessons that only made sense later. And in the US, I worked hard and slowly built a life. I acquired things, furniture, appliances, clothes, little items I thought I would really need. Things I believed were important. Things that made me feel like I was finally settled. But when it was time to leave, reality arrived quietly and painfully. I sold almost everything, some for a fraction of what I paid, some just to get rid of them. And that hurt more than I expected because those things weren't just objects. They carried memories, proof that I had made it, proof that my sacrifices meant something, proof that I survived seasons that nearly broke me. Letting them go felt like losing pieces of myself. But adulthood has a way of teaching you lessons you can't avoid. I learned that the life I built wasn't stored in furniture or boxes. It lived in me. Still, I have to admit, there were some things I just couldn't let go of. So I wrapped them carefully, packed them with intention, and sent them home in a balikbayan box. Not because they were expensive, not because they were necessary, but because they healed parts of me I wasn't ready to release. Letting go doesn't mean erasing your past. It means choosing what you're allowed to carry forward. And maybe maturity isn't about having nothing attached to you, but about knowing why you hold on. I am sure there are many Filipinas who share this story. The excitement of coming to the US, the adjustment of how different life is, the moments when you almost go home, then the embracing, the building, the surviving, and finally the return. Having to go back to the Philippines to start over again. But returning is not failure. It is not moving backward. We didn't just cross oceans, we crossed versions of ourselves. We left to grow, we stayed to survive, and we returned with wisdom we couldn't have learned any other way. We left as girls, returned as women. I am deeply grateful for the experience, for the lessons, for the growth, for the journey. One I will carry with me as I grow older, wherever life may take me next. Everything I learned shaped how I move forward. The mindset I hold, the attitude I carry, the grace I now give myself and to anyone listening. Wherever season of migration you are in right now, whether you are just beginning, struggling to adjust, thinking of going back, or starting over again, know this. In your journey, you are not alone. Someone, somewhere, understands exactly what you are carrying. So many of us are walking the same path, just in different seasons. Even when it feels heavy, even when no one says it out loud. And if you're wondering where this beautiful farm in my video is, this is the milk station. It's located in Barili, along the road going to the southwest part of Cebu. They also offer fresh milk and ice cream and so much more. We also explored the farm and enjoyed their bougainvillea plants in different sizes, all beautifully placed in large pots. They even have an aviary section, which was such a treat. It was so cool watching the peacock, owls, eagles, and many more. If you happen to visit Cebu, feel free to stop by at the milk station in Barili. It's definitely worth the visit. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.